Good afternoon. My name is Juan Sarmiento, and I'm here with Alejandro Mendoza. Hi. And we are behind Artify. Artify allows to create remarkable designs in record time. It is a graphic design editor packed with a huge library of design assets, and it works right in the browser. Okay, I have been in design business like 10 years. And since the beginning, I have seen designers, non-designers, or people with some design background to face a real need: design assets, photos, vectors, 3D elements, illustrations, mockups, characters. And at this time, there are a lot of design stores and design marketplaces selling these assets, but each marketplace has its own rules. So the process behind purchasing assets from this marketplace is quite a mess. It's not cost effective because you are not paying to different sources to get actually a mess. Different license terms for the assets, different file formats and file types, mixed design styles, no way to tag, no way to search, definitely a real mess. And if you are not a designer or you can't afford a professional design team, it's even worse because you probably don't know how to use this usually complicated editing software, or you can't afford these assets. So you end up getting free files with obscure license terms, poor quality, and you can't compromise your business with poor quality design, because design is the way you can impress. Design is like your 5-second pitch. For all these reasons, we created Artify. Artify, it's a web app that works right in the browser. And I would like to show you a video on how easy it is to create some nice designs right in the browser. Okay, you can start from scratch with our huge library of design assets, like these nice 3D effects and elements. And you can also have access to these editorial compositions, and you can create a poster in 30 seconds. You can have access to nice editing tools, like our automatic colorization tool that allows colorize an entire scene or a single object with one single click. And as you can see, another great design in 20 seconds. You will have access to some of the editing tools designers look for, like layers management, control over your canvas size, rotation, opacity, and it's really easy to create, for instance, this business card. As you can see, we have packed a huge library of design assets, and most of our assets are trendy, like these 3D characters, which are trendy nowadays. And we will upgrading our assets, or the assets inside the application, with trendy elements each week. So you will have access to trendy assets every single day, every single week. And as you can see, another great design created in 30 seconds. Okay. The team behind Artify is the same team behind other design store, which is Icon Shop. That is a huge library of icons, and by people that sell also design assets. Alejandro Mendoza, which is here with me, is behind communication and marketing. Daniel Hernandez, which is the design and front-end developer. Frank Carlos Blanco, which is the back-end development. And Juan Sarmiento, I am the CEO and founder. Our current stores are by people and Icon Shop, and with our stores in these years, we have collected a huge library of design assets, around 1 million design assets, icons, illustration elements, characters, 3D elements, and you can start using these assets right in the application. Our business model, I think is okay. Our business model, which can be found in the website, is quite simple. We have a free tier, which is $7. Sorry, we have a free tier that allows personal use only license, and you can't download vector format. In the premium version, we have vector download, so you can download a SVG format, and further, you can edit this SVG in your, for instance, in Illustrator, and allows commercial license. The pricing model is quite simple. You can find it in the website. It is $7 per month and $69 per year. Thanks so much. This is Artify. You can go to weartify.co. You can find there our main features and also our gallery. We have collected a huge pre-made templates that you can check in our gallery, and you can actually use or start not from scratch, but using one of our templates. We also want to, sorry, we also want to create a community behind this project to allow other users to create more designs for the community. Thank you so much. That is Artify.
Just a quick question. So I think that last angle was super interesting, to kind of creating a marketplace for these assets. So I guess the question is, how have you started to onboard assets, and how do you plan on continuing for that to be kind of a moat of sorts?
Okay. We started Icon Shop like 10 years ago. And we started creating these icons and vector elements like 10 years ago. Invite People was started like 5 years ago. And Invite People, we are also creating new assets and design elements for the community. So we have collected from this time a huge selection of assets, and we have worked with other designers to create assets for the application. So we have partnership with other designers that have created assets specifically for Artify. We will continue with this process of creating assets with other designers and with our own designers to be able to release more assets every single week. So that is the strategy we are going to follow to keep the assets up to date and trendy. Because as you probably know, design evolves very quickly.
Great. 2 pieces of pitch feedback. You guys have some awesome parts of the demo where you're showing actually sort of live making new designs. Getting some of that up front, I think would be great. Like you start with just like several pages of just black and white text, and it doesn't really show what you guys are capable of until pretty deep into the pitch. And then in the team section, people are mostly interested in what the background and experience of somebody is rather than sort of the names of who's on the team. So giving more feedback or more context on that might be helpful. Long term though, I'm interested, what is the exact target market for this? Like, is this, because obviously there's much more serious hardcore design tools for people like Photoshop. So who do you see this designed for if it's not, if it's not free, but it's not Photoshop?
Okay, yes, you are right. We wanted to keep the presentation very, very simple and easy to read, and that's the reason. But yeah, thanks for the feedback. Okay. Our target is basically designers and people with some design background and people that needs design. So probably designers use Photoshop or Illustrator or Sketch, but sometimes they need something very quickly and also they don't have access to the design assets. Because if you are good in Photoshop, probably you are not good in Illustrator. So if you get the assets in Illustrator format, you can edit it in Photoshop. With Artify, you can edit in a standard format, which is SVG. SVG is a standard vectorial format. So it can cover a huge market. Additionally, I am not a designer. I have some design background, and I have needed this specific tool, and in our team we have the need of this specific tool, because not every single person with some background can know how to use this usually complicated software. For instance, I have 10 years in this business. I don't know how to use Illustrator or Sketch or Figma. That's like some of the main market, but additionally, a huge market is behind products like Canva or this kind of software that allows non-designers at all to create something very quickly right in the browser or in the desktop without knowing at all this complicated software. As if you can see in the website, you can check our gallery. You can start, if you are not a designer, you can start with the templates, which are created by real designers. So we also want to cover these non-designers, but people that needs designs. That's the market.